Yo, don't you be a fool. You finna hear the truth, watch me do what I do. On the pod with the mic and I ain't keeping it cool. Gotta bring the heat, gotta hit the street. Gotta stay 100, they ain't scaring me. You want a censor a boss, you want a censor a king. I'm not taking a loss, facts is all I bring. I'm speaking candidly, ancestors they stand with me. It's Pharaoh and Dessalines, the blunt of reality.
What's going on, Blunties? It's your boy, Dessalines.
And with Pharaoh, we have a special guest.
That's right. Special guest in the building. Let me give him a proper introduction real quick. The Blunt of Reality has the honor of interviewing a special guest on today's episode. He was born and raised in Port-au-Prince, Haiti. He is a multimedia visual designer, comic book author, and creator. Despite being a colorblind visual designer, he has consistently pushed the boundaries of creativity, storytelling, social impact, and has successfully created Haiti's first superhero. His book, Tanama, is the first ever to be introduced into the Library of Congress by an independent artist. His work through the years has even caught the eye of late-night legend Conan O'Brien, who interviewed him on Conan's Netflix series Conan Without Borders in 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, I now present to you Anthony Louis Jeune.
I love it.
Yeah.
Welcome, man.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here, man. Great energy, man.
Yeah. I had to do it correct, man. It's the first time we having somebody as far as a Haitian artist who is to this point is legendary. To be honest, you know.
That is great.
How you feeling, man?
Feeling great, as usual. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
How was the trip, man? Was everything all right?
Yeah, it's everything all right. I mean, the train has some delays, but I always take time to use my time in the best way that I can imagine, and it's creating. So I spend the whole time creating and working on new projects.
Right, that's good, man. That's good. I mean,
thanks for inviting me, man. I've been watching you guys and I can't wait, for when, I don't know how you guys envision yourself, but hold on to that dream. I wish I could meet you guys there.
Oh, yeah,
we will.
We gonna see you. 100%, man, 100%. We're glad to have you here, Pharaoh. This is a good feeling right now, you know what I mean?
I feel good, man.
So we wanted to interview you, man. Your journey sounds so crazy, but we're gonna take it nice and simple in the beginning. We might get a little weird later on with some weird questions.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm down.
It's still the blunt of reality, you know. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off. Tony, what was it like growing up in Haiti, and what really inspired you to take your creative path to comic books, graphic novels, and illustration? What really inspired you while you was growing up in Haiti doing that?
Well, growing up in Haiti, like in every environment, there's good, there's bad, right? The bad was that I grew up after the fell off of the dictatorship regime and of Duvalier. So it was very much there was riots still. It was very dangerous to be in the streets, and even as a teen, Haiti has been very much unstable after the departure of Duvalier, or after his regime. But I grew up in a very small village, maybe 50 houses, but it was peaceful. I remember riding my bicycle with friends, so it was great. And I was always inspired by art and by comic books. I grew up reading a lot of European comic books. And I remember my godfather used to also like comic books. He is the one who introduced me to comic books too. But he's not an artist. I'm the first artist in the family. So growing up in Haiti was challenging in some days, but I'm always grateful, and since as an artist, I was always in my bubble. So I feel like my bubble was also like some sort of a sanctuary for me, to not really pay attention of what's happening around me, and to draw, to create.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that's interesting that you mentioned that, because when I think of Haiti, I feel like Haitians don't have enough time to, like you said, have that creative bubble. So you finding the time and inspiration to actually get that done and do it and pursue your dream, yo, to be honest, that's something that I'm proud of, man. That I
Thank
can
you.
sit here in your presence and actually speak to you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And when you, it reminds me of something a friend told me, because he came from New Jersey to see me in Alexandria in Virginia for my birthday, and he was telling my wife that Anthony was always like in his drawing and always doing some things, you know, and I tried to imagine or to remember what was in my mind at that time, because everybody was playing basketball, was doing everything, video games, and I was always on my corner. So I feel like maybe it was some sort of an escape from me in a sense, to be in my to create, I guess.
To be in that creative bubble.
Yeah.
I completely understand that. To be honest, I consider myself somewhat of a creative. Like, I like to write scripts, movie scripts, etc. So when you're creating, you find that peace in that area.
For sure.
No matter what's going on around you. I mean, I was even writing during the pandemic, so I completely understand that. But that's interesting. You said that your uncle introduced you to comics. What was the first one that he got you to read?
Well, it was my godfather. The first one was Tintin. Tintin, and it's funny. Tintin in Creole means like a bad thing, bad, you know.
Yeah.
And growing up, I was reading a lot of Tintin. They call it Tintin here. It's funny that later on, it's been speculated that the author was racist. And I remember when I was reading Tintin in Congo, and the way he was drawing black people, bro.
Yeah.
Was it
Like
was
that
it
Dragon Ball
exaggerated?
Z stuff.
Oh, that's how it was.
Like dark and then red lips.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could imagine.
But
that.
as a kid, you don't really see these things,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So that's why representation is so important.
Absolutely.
You know, and I didn't have that when growing up. So I feel like one of the first characters, that's crazy. One of the first characters I saw, like black person, was in Tintin au Congo, and then it was like it was like a shadow, and then red lips, you know. But and then even you as a kid, you kind of laugh about it, and then you forget it's like you forget that you're black.
Right.
You know, but it's crazy.
And it's hard to when you're a kid and you're reading these things, you're reading it for the story, but you don't realize the visual racism in it.
No, you don't.
I just asked Pharaoh, I'm like, yo, remember what they was doing in early years of Dragon Ball and how they would draw black people in Dragon Ball with the lips and the dark. So I'm like, it's something similar to that.
Yeah.
Pharaoh, I don't know if you want to kick it off with the next
definitely
question real quick.
Got this question for you. Can you walk us through the creative process and development, Tanama character and story, and how did you draw the inspiration from the Haitian culture and mythology?
So for Tanama, first of all, Tanama, it means butterfly in a Taino language, and a lot of time us Haitian, I feel like we forget who were the first people living on the island. It was the Taino, the indigenous people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then the Spanish and the French brought the African, and they enslaved them, right? And so I feel like we don't give much value to the land that's not even ours. And sometimes I'm wondering if it's not one of the reasons why things are like that right now, because we need to give the ancestors the proper respect that they deserve.
Right.
So Tanama, after the earthquake in Haiti, I traveled to the Dominican Republic to study fine arts and illustration. And I was always interested with the Taino people, because I really love nature, and I really love my peace, and I used to research on the internet about the Taino people. And then when I went to the school, Altos de Chavon, they had a museum that had artifacts of Tainos. And that was so impressive because I used to draw them, especially one of them. They call it a duho, and the duho it's a special chair where the shaman used to sit and communicate with the spirit world.
The shaman, is that like the
Like
spiritual leader?
Spiritual leader,
yeah,
spiritual, exactly, spiritual leader. And I saw one at the museum, and I was like, "Wow, that's amazing!"
Wow.
And by that time, I was already into comic books and superheroes. I didn't even create Djatawo, the first Haitian superhero I created. So Tanama, and I feel like being raised by a single mom, I'm always through my art trying to empower women, talk about the importance of women, and everybody has a mom. Everybody has a mother. You know, rather you had a bad relationship with a woman, you know, whatever, but you have a mother. That's for sure. So me, in my house, my mom was playing the role of the mother and the father. So I wanted to create a female superhero, a female character.
Right.
And I love nature, and I was like, okay, I want to create something around nature, Mother Nature. And I thought about it because I'm always into comic books, Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, name it. And I realized that there's no female superhero in this universe, in DC or Marvel that represents nature. The only one that represents nature, it's a villain, Poison Ivy. It's in DC Comics. I was like, why would they create a woman that represents nature that is like something good? And she's a villain.
I have a conspiracy for that. Because they don't want to promote, forced and everything. They don't want to promote, like, these big industries, right, that chop down forests and all of that. They don't want no superhero that's like, hey, let's stop destroying Green Earth.
Yeah.
They don't want that.
Yeah.
Because it makes you self-reflect a little bit.
Exactly.
It's like, whoa, this planet is here to help us. And we caused a lot of destruction. So I would
Big Pharma also, they don't want you figuring out all the good things that come from Mother Earth.
Yeah.
They want you taking their medicine.
Yeah, and the medicine, a lot of them, like, they come from a plant, right? But they probably modify it. So, that's a good theory right here.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Before we move forward, you mentioned Marvel and DC and all of that, right? We have the question right here about do you think the character of Tanama would be a great fit for collaboration with Black Panther or any other Marvel comic or movie? If so, what are your thoughts on it? Like, who would you want Tanama to team up with?
I think if I meet with what's his name again, Ryan
Coogler.
Ryan Coogler.
Yeah.
And he on the end of the second Black Panther. And the son of T'Challa.
Oh yeah,
it's Toussaint.
Yeah,
he's from Haiti. So I feel like that'd be a great thing for Tanama to feature in a Black Panther movie because they're also connected with nature, with their culture and technology. It's Afrofuturism, just like the story of Tanama mix magic and technology, which is the same thing that they're doing too. They're connected with the spiritual world,
right?
The same thing as Tanama. So I feel like that would be a great feature. But my favorite superhero is Silver Surfer, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because I feel like this guy has cosmic power. This guy can destroy a planet. He can build a planet, and he sacrificed his life in order to be the herald of Galactus. And I really like the philosophical like he's always very philosophical and talking about how the human race are resilient and how powerful we are, and it's just to see that how a being can be so powerful but so humble at the same time.
Right.
So I feel like if the human race was like that, we will be living in a better planet.
Right. Tony, real quick before we move forward, I really want to squeeze this in. Right. We have some of your works on the table right here that you brought, and I want you to explain just who some of these people are,
right?
What's some of their story? If you could give us some origin stories,
of course,
just for whoever might be watching. Like, okay, what comic books have you illustrated, and if you want to start with Tanama, or you could start with another one that they might want to know.
Let's start
about.
with ladies first.
Right.
So Tanama, her real name is Rachel.
Right.
And she is the daughter of farmers.
Right.
But in my story, Haiti is very it's not like it is right now. It's self-sufficient. Toussaint Louverture didn't die in the Fort du Jour. Haiti is very like one of the greatest country in the world,
right.
which it is. But it's like I feel like what Haiti is going on through right now, it has to go that way. But what's happening is Haiti is embracing their culture. Haitians are embracing their culture, using. They always talk about voodoo as a bad thing, and I always say that in life in general, there's good, there's bad,
right.
in everything. And we talk about. I was born and raised in a Catholic household, but I know there's so many things that Catholicism did that was very bad.
Right.
So the same thing for voodoo, people use it to do good. Some people use it to do bad.
Right.
So in my story, they use it to do good, and they also Haitians are in touch with an ancient African tribe called the Dogon, and it was said a theory that the Dogon tribe was in touch with aliens because NASA found maybe 3 or 4 years ago, by now, they found a star called Sirius B that they were able to see with a telescope, and the Dogon tribe was already aware of that star.
Yeah.
So in my story, the Dogon tribe can travel on that star, and they particularly linked up with the Haitian to share technology, because they're called aliens, but they're actually humans, but advanced.
Right.
So they go to that star, and then so they share technology with Haitian, and Haitians share some of their magic and spirituality.
Right.
That's the Haiti that we're living in the comic book. So, but in this story too, the aliens, what they want to do is like they want to change Earth atmosphere by making it warmer. What they do, they cut down trees and they take the heart of the trees, so they can empower a machine. So in that farm where Rachel Tanama is living, there's a lot of special trees. Mostly there's a tree called the mother tree, where these trees are located around the world, and they are connected with all the mother trees around the world. And if you have the proper, if you can use the proper language, if you can sing a song, you can actually create a portal that can teleport you to a point to another in the world. So these aliens came, and then they really destroyed the farm, and Tanama went in a coma. What happened? This is the first comic book, and because
you could show the audience.
because of her aunt and what they call sage women, they talked with the tree spirit, and then for 14 years Tanama was inside of a cocoon, Rachel,
right,
and then she became Tanama.
Wow. Okay.
She became a savior, but when she woke up, it was total chaos because the alien were already infiltrating the society, the government, everything, and they were already ready to unleash like a giant Komodo dragon to really destroy Haiti. So now Rachel, with the help of her friends, they have to go to Sirius B in order to find to talk with the council of the 7 sages, so they can not only help her with her powers, but also help her fight the aliens.
Wow.
You know what I like about the stories that you make? Because you incorporate real life things, and you also incorporate your imagination with that. Because I noticed that you had some type of reptile beings.
Yeah, man.
Now, a lot of
and they're
people don't know-
shapeshifters.
Shapeshifters, yeah. And a lot of people don't know about reptiles, or they call them the reptilians. But I just thought that was pretty interesting, man, because you got Toussaint Louverture in there, right? And you have so many different dynamics that you intertwine with your comics. It's total genius, man.
Thank you.
Right. Total genius.
Definitely genius. And not only that, incorporating history, like real history.
Word.
And you know what it does to the imagination also, to anybody who's reading these stories? It's fun to connect to real life.
Absolutely.
And it's fun to connect to most recent events. You said that they just discovered Series B like a few years ago. That's insane.
That is
because now people are gonna be looking to the sky, looking to the stars, looking at the New Jersey drones or whatever. But they're gonna be able to connect to the story in another way. That's fascinating, man. As far as Tanama is concerned, what future does she have? Like I like arcs. Like for example, another favorite of mine is Spawn. I like Spawn's story.
I love Spawn too.
His story from day one to the most recent one is just ridiculous. Let me just say that. But I just love his character, his look, whatever. Tanama, where do you want? Oh, look, I guess you don't want to give spoilers, but what would you like people to take away from her, and also look like what's something that they could look forward to in the future when it comes to her?
Well, I think by reading Tanama, you will, if you didn't know it already, the importance of tree planting, the importance of education, the importance of black representation, the importance of STEM, the importance of women empowerment, and how I really see Tanama. I mean, feel like my mom always say that the sky is not the limit. There's so many things that could be done.
Say that again.
The sky is not the limit.
The sky is not the limit. That is profound.
Right.
Yeah,
that's powerful.
profound.
To hear that from a child age, to hear that the sky is not the limit is definitely something that I think is very useful for any child to understand that, you can always keep educating yourself, even through comic books, even through real education.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's when I created Djatawo, the first Haitian superhero. And this comic book was actually printed at the New York University because they believe that my comic books, like you guys were saying earlier, like it's not only about superhero fighting bad guys, but there's educational material, things that you can learn, and that's my goal. That's my mission, really, through art, through storytelling, because storytelling is a powerful thing, and the books are a powerful thing. If
Absolutely.
You think about one of the most powerful book in the world, what would you say would it be? The Bible.
See, I was just about to say
the
history
Quran,
book. I would
the
say
history book. There's so many books. And growing up when I was reading comic books, it was entertaining, but at the same time, what can I learn from it?
Right.
What is how can I connect with it?
Right. Most definitely. Sometimes some people, they find metaphors in them, but to just put real educational gems inside of something like, especially with Djatawo, would you be able to give us his origin story on
So
quick
it's
stuff?
Djatawo.
Djatawo.
And so Djatawo, it means path of God. So the way that I created Djatawo is I was always interested about superheroes, and I realized, and when I was studying fine arts and illustration, I always think about what can I create that is beneficial for my country. And I was thinking, and I was like, okay, I love superheroes, but there's no Haitian superheroes. There's only one character that is very famous in Marvel Comics. His name is Brother Voodoo, and he's not a superhero, he's a sorcerer. So after, the first name that I gave to Djatawo was Aton, A-T-O-N, but that was also my artist name at that time.
Right.
And because Aton also means it's a solar disc of Akhenaton, which means the home of Aton. And Akhenaton was an Egyptian king, and he believed that the sun was God, and he believed that if humans were like the sun, the world would be a better place because the sun is giving and not asking anything in return.
Right.
So I went back to Haiti, and I went to the newspaper, his name is Monsieur Chauvet, Marc Chauvet, and he's always supporting my art. He's the CEO of the newspaper in Haiti, Le Nouvelliste. And I told him that I have a superhero for Haiti. And he was like, okay. And then he asked me what his name, and I was like, Captain Light. He was like, Captain Light? And he was like, I'm old, but this sounds really old school. You should look for more names. I went back home, and then I came, and I was listening to Bob Marley. And then for a particular song, it was like, we'll be forever loving Jah. And I was like, okay, Jah. and I believe in God. And I was like, okay, Jah. And I was like, okay. So in Creole, when you pronounce Jah, it's DJA. And it's like, okay, I like Jah.
Right.
So what can I find that can complement the name? And I was looking at the yin and yang, and it's a Taoism symbol. It means path.
Right.
So I wrote it in Creole, Tawo. So it means Djatawo. And then for his outfit, I was inspired by Dragon Ball Z. I was inspired by the voodoo ceremony because they're dressed in white. I was inspired by so many other things, and I put them together and to create Djatawo. Djatawo has the power to teleport himself to different universes. He's a demigod, and he can also manipulate energy. So
right.
So yeah, that's the backstory of Djatawo.
That's freaking interesting, bro. The first Haitian superhero. And I have a million more questions that have to do with that, to be honest, man. Because when I think of a first Haitian superhero, I think of 1804. I think of those superheroes. I think of the people that had nothing, dog. They had nothing. And they actually fought in real life.
Yeah,
they and got the independence for Haiti.
Right.
So that's why it's such a powerful story, and just to hear the word the first Haitian superhero is I don't know, it's crazy. I don't know what you.
And the way that he also got his powers is because there's the biggest mountain in Haiti, Pic Macaya. There's a crystal pyramid inside Pic Macaya, and inside that's in the book. But it's totally possible, huh?
But there is a mountain of materials in Haiti. I'm like,
there's so many things.
Yeah,
and then inside of that mountain, there's a pyramid, and there's the solar zenith disk too that gives them the power of Djatawo. And inside that mountain, there's also the last giant on Earth, and his name is Cosmo. He has the helmet of time. He can see everything. And but he won't intervene. He can't even go outside because the air is so polluted that he has to breathe through the cave. So he stays in the cave, and then he helps Djatawo on his mission.
Wow.
Let me ask you a question. Is Djatawo your strongest superhero?
I have before Djatawo, when I was in school, I created a character called Red Scarf. He's the great-great-grandson of Dessalines.
Oh.
So to me, that's I'm not sure. I think all of them has their own particularity.
Cause like when you think of like DC, right? You think of like the strongest characters like Superman. Who else is like powerful?
So they have the Trinity. They have Batman. They have Superman, and they have Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman.
So in my case, I have Djatawo, I have Red Scarf, and I have Tanama.
And those three are kicking those other three asses.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
No, let's do
that's
this.
a fact. That's
Yeah.
a fact. I'm told 100%.
Somebody's gonna make the animation.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. So say that again. You say you have Djatawo, Tanama, and
Red Scarf.
And Red Scarf.
I have Caesar Lacroix. I have Honeybee. I have Dr. Leaf.
Right.
I have so many. I have like more than 60 that I created.
Okay.
But these are the first one that I'm doing.
All right. So let me ask you a question. Say someone wants to be introduced to your work. Where's the best place that they would be able to go, just to interact with you and see a lot of the work that you've been producing?
So my website is Tony Louis, TonyLouis.com. You will find the same name on Instagram, on Facebook. So remember that my Tony is with a H, and I purposely wrote it this way because usually you don't write Tony with a H.
Right.
But my name is Anthony, so I just THONY and then LOUI. So that's how people can check out my work on my Instagram, on my X account. That's how.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
And I just created, and I'm inviting whoever want to invest, creators or entrepreneurs that are interested about Afrofuturism storytelling or talking about tree planting. I created a company called Spider Whale Studios. where I really want to produce these type of storytelling, and not only for kids but also to awaken certain minds. And my goal is really, when I'm no longer in this reality, that these characters can continue to live on and people can still be inspired by them.
That's important to me because as a child, right, when you're introduced to new information, things that you don't normally see, especially growing up as a Haitian man, growing up as a Haitian, especially in this country, we didn't really have people that we can look up to or characters that we can relate to. So we had to always relate to like the white characters. So if I was a kid reading this, I strongly believe that it takes you to an atmosphere that you want to see some of these things actually come true. Like Haitians having a futuristic, like you said, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. These are the things that are very important.
Yes,
so
sir.
reading this, it can, like you said, it can awaken the minds and inspire people. So I'm on board with that, man.
Yeah, thank you, man.
What I need to do is read more of these comics.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I'm definitely interested in it.
And something that really after it happened, I really told myself, well, like, I feel like my work is not done, but I touched a life. It happened in front of me. I was in Haiti, and then I saw two kids, like they were talking, and then one of them said, and that's real story. I cried that day, really. The two kids, they were not fighting, but they were talking, and then one of them said, I'm powerful than you. I'm whatever. And then the other kid say, no, I am powerful. You know who I am? And he took out a paper that he cut, the mask of Djatawo, and he put it. He was like that on his face. And I was like, no, I'm Djatawo. And I was like, wow. And I'm here. I'm like, do they know that it's me? They didn't know it's me because what happened is when I was releasing the story of Djatawo in Haiti, the CEO of the newspaper give me a full page in the newspaper every Thursday.
Right.
So I was publishing the story of Djatawo.
Right.
So it was people used to read that in the newspaper. So every Thursday I had a story of Djatawo. So these kids who they don't know me.
Yeah.
But I saw
them. They know the story.
And I was like, wow, like my job is over. If I can touch kids like that in a positive way, it's a blessing, man. It's really a blessing.
That sounds like it's a blessing, man. What a feeling.
A blessing.
Like anytime you have that influence on kids and give them that belief, that imagination that they can be greater than who they are. Even if it's imagination at a young age, it's important to instill inside.
Yeah, because the reality is so harsh, especially right now. And it's not. And I always say that it's not that I don't want to talk about the reality. The reality is there. They see the reality every day, but it's also important to let them be able to dream, because I believe in the power also of projection.
Absolutely.
Right.
So if you always project problems, that's all you're gonna see. But if you're able to dream, you can create your own reality as well.
Most definitely, yeah.
That's scientifically proven.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
If you sit there and you focus on, I was watching this one scientist talk. I don't remember his name, but he said if you can sit there and focus for 21 days, and he gave the whole entire logic behind it. But he said 21 days of every day waking up and thinking about all the positive things that you want to accomplish instead of the negative. That'll help propel you to manifesting what you want to manifest.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, staying positive and always having that positive energy around you. Speaking of that, Tony, I have a couple more questions. This is a two-parter question I want to ask you real quick. When you were growing up, did you have a lot of support from your friends and family as far as when it came to your comic book work? And during that journey, what was the most difficult part?
Yes, I did. Thank God, man. At first my mom didn't understand, and then I remember something happened, and then I cried that day, my mom took my drawings and then she threw them on the floor, and
Why?
I think she wanted me to study, because I was mostly drawing than studying.
Yeah.
And then she came back. She gave me my first art book, and then she wrote. She said, "If art is your passion, so it will be mine."
That is
Wow.
I'm not even gonna lie with my You know, it's funny because growing up, look, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you a little spill about Haitian culture, right? Haitians don't believe in. Well, when I was growing up, Haitians didn't believe in none of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You either was a doc. Come on, say it with me.
Yeah.
Doctor, lawyer, or
engineer.
engineer. That's it. You get 3 options, and that's the only 3 that you can fall under.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So when you're limited with just 3 options, it's difficult to see yourself doing other things.
Yeah.
And for your mom to say something like that, that's the point in time where you're like, I'm taking it off.
But she also said give me good grades too.
Yeah, you can't forget about the good grades.
She gave me good grades. But my mom was a banker for more than 20 years, all her life.
Really?
Right.
Yeah, she was working at the bank.
And this is in Haiti, right?
In Haiti, and I even studying business management.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I was already working. I was the first graphic designer for one of the biggest company in Haiti. Is a cigarette company. I was designing cigarette packs, and I was the youngest in the company, and I was making money. And when I was in university studying business management, and I was looking at the teacher, I was like, man, I'm making more money than the teacher right now.
Right.
And then I quit. I really quit. Maybe it wasn't a good thing, but my logic was like, man, this guy is teaching me to make money, and I feel like I'm making more money than him.
Yeah.
But not to disrespect any teachers, because some people, this is their calling to teach, and we need these people for sure. But my friends always supported me. They always I don't think even the director of the school, I remember I lost a whole portfolio, and this moment of time also made me believe in myself, because I had low self-esteem growing up about my art, because I was always showing people, is it good, and they were like, yeah, it's good. And I remember somebody stole my portfolio, and then I was like, shit, they stole my portfolio? It means that I'm good?
Wow.
So
That's when you know your issue's good. It's like, oh
and
man.
then this gave me a boost, because I was like, damn, if they can steal it because it's good. But the challenge that I always had, not really because I get around it, is because I'm colorblind. I was born with deuteranopia. It's mostly the red and the yellow spectrum of my eyes. So blue is violet for me, red is brown, vice versa. Green is gray for me.
Wow.
So when I pick colors on the internet, or if I'm in digital art, I have to Google the color.
Right.
And then they give me the color, and I can select it. If I'm painting, the color is written, so I know. But what the school Alto de Chavon helped me do is like, I know which color to combine. I know if I put blue next to orange, they match. If I put red to green, it's like complementary colors.
Right.
So that's how I get around. So that's the most challenge
Right.
part. And also I would say as an artist, it's not easy to be understood. That's why I'm so grateful to be here, because a lot of time they tell me to talk, because I'm always in my bubble creating, and then I show my work and they were like, okay, what are you doing? I don't understand. So I have to explain what I'm doing.
Right.
So I think that's the challenge, to put myself out there.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's the old chestnut, right, of artists, right? A lot of artists, they like to stay to themselves and create. That's where they're doing their most magic, you know? Being free and being in that bubble to bring this legendary, this heavenly stuff for us to enjoy as an audience, you know? So that's good. And you know, to come out to talk about your art, you never know who you're inspiring to. You know, I would say that to all artists who are maybe be in their bubble right now. You know, when you do come out and you talk and you explain your work, it inspires a lot of people. Maybe people who were just afraid to even try to go after that, to illustrate or whatever they want to pursue.
Right.
You know, one thing that we didn't talk about yet. I wanted you to mention those cards real quick.
Right. So these cards, and I just in January I launched them again because initially I had published them 10 years ago.
Right.
I published them 10 years ago with a bank in Haiti, and they for a year they were allowed to print them, and they printed 20,000 deck of cards. But what happened now is because of the political situation, these cards are stored somewhere that they can't even go there. I think a part of it is burned. I don't know. But
Wow.
since I was like, okay, I need to find a way to publish them myself. So these cards are very important for me because, and I will say that for Haitians, because usually we play deck of cards with white figures, right?
Right.
So these are black people, and they're the founding fathers
Oh, that's fucking
Of Haiti.
of Haiti.
Can I take a look at some
Yeah,
of them?
yeah.
No, that's amazing.
That's fire right there.
Word.
That is
With,
fire.
and I put their name. I make sure to put their, so it's not only something to play with, but you can also learn,
Right.
because there's a lot of heroes and sheroes that you don't know them, and I had
Right.
to work with a Haitian historian to know exactly the name of the wife, how they look like, because we don't have a lot of illustration about them. And matter of fact, last year I also published a history book about Haiti with a woman named Lila Desquion. She's now the ambassador for UNESCO in France, and from when Christopher Columbus came to the island until the proclamation of the independence, I drew all that. And I grew up reading my story, the Haitian story, with a book that was published by the French.
Wow.
So can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Not only the story is not accurate, but also the representation.
Right.
They make Haitian look like monkeys. You know, so when this lady reached out to me and she was like, "This is what she wants to do. She want to do this," and I was like, "Of course I want," because as a Haitian, I'm more connected with the story,
Right.
and I can also put my soul, put my passion into these drawings to have a better representation of who these people were, these heroes were, you know. So so to me, it's one of my I'm very proud of that work, because now I can say that there's another generation, or maybe another generation, that can learn the history of Haiti through a different lens.
Yeah, through that lens right there. What I was going to ask him is, that specific history book, is it available in any schools right now in Haiti or anywhere else like that?
So this book right now is available in libraries in Haiti. And she wants to come to the U.S. She wants to translate it in English. She's working on it so she can also make a book publishing here. So what's happening right now is, since there's so many things happening in Haiti, like school is not open. So in order for her to put in the school system, it needs to be working, but it's not. Nothing is working really right now.
Right.
So people can only purchase that book in Haiti for now.
Right.
And the cards, matter of fact, the cards can be purchased in Spiderwell Studios. Maybe we can put a link so people can find it on the website on the company that I created.
Right.
So they can find it, and they can see all the heroes and sheroes, their names, and yeah.
You know what's interesting about these cards? A lot of people, this is what I learned. Haitian women played a huge part in the independence, and oftentimes they're overlooked. Man, we got some strong ass women.
Yeah, for sure.
If it wasn't for the women, our independence probably wouldn't even be possible.
Yeah, and there's a saying, there are two grand hommes and grand femmes. Behind every great man, there's a great woman.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
the men need that balance in order for them to be who they are. And if they don't have a strong woman next to them, it's not really possible.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I believe that too, man. Because women women are definitely, yeah, they're the nurturers, but they also have that passion and love that makes them get superpowers even. I mean, like literally, scientifically, they can lift cars if they care enough, you know, to save their baby, to save somebody that they love because their love is that powerful. Tony, I'm going to go into a completely different world, but before I get into this world, I want to know if this would be a dream come true for you to have. I see you have Djatawo, you have Tanama, you have Red Scarf, right? You see the Marvel universe, the DC universe. Like when we're talking about your comic books, what would it feel like for you to have a universe of these Haitian heroes, fully funded? What would it look like?
Oh man,
you know, and like, would you want to see that one day?
Of course, man. That's a dream.
Yeah,
and it will happen. You know, growing up, I wanted to publish my comic book. My book is published.
Right.
I wanted to go to Comic-Con. I went to Comic-Con multiple times. Things that happened, like I'm in the Library of Congress. I didn't know that something could happen. So I believe that again, like, but I know that I can't do it by myself.
Right.
Because right now I've been the writer, I've been the illustrator, I've been the colorist, I've been the graphic designer, I've been the PR manager.
Right. You're
I've been
wearing
doing
multiple.
team.
But at the same time, it had to happen like that, because in order for people to believe in what you're doing, you have to make them believe in yourself too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm already in that point. So anybody who's watching, if you're interested about afrofuturism, if you're interested about the Caribbean, if you're interested about STEM, if you're interested about tree planting, you know, let's do it together, because I'm super open. I love collaboration, and I'm always saying that if when you talk about money and investment, imagine a theme park with Haitian culture.
Right.
Like Walt Disney, for example, with all these characters, you know, and so different, because over the past years we've been seeing all the same characters. Right. I don't have anything wrong with these characters, because they also inspire me.
Yeah,
but at the
course.
same time, representation matters so
Definitely
much,
does.
because how can you tell a kid that they can do great things if their model doesn't look like them?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's always been the representation's been everything, man. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that I agree with you, because I watched this one video and they asked a group of kids. They had like pictures of different skin complexions of children, and they would ask the children multiple questions. Questions like, "Who's the bad baby?" And the bad baby oftentimes would be the darker complexion child.
Oh my God.
And who's the smart one? It would be the white one. So what you're saying makes sense, because we need representation that looks just like us, because that's the only way we'll see ourselves in that light. And I completely agree with that, man.
Yeah, and it's not to say that I have anything, I don't have anything like wrong with bad against white people, for example.
No, of course.
Like 2 weeks ago, there's a famous Hollywood actor called Rainn Wilson, and he's very famous on Netflix for a show called The Office.
Right.
His name is Dwight in The Office. And I met him 8 years ago in Calabasas, and 2 weeks ago he shared my campaign, my Kickstarter campaign for my third comic book of Tanama The Awakening. He shared it on his Facebook page, and he backed the campaign. And when you back the campaign, you need to have rewards, right? He didn't ask for anything.
Wow.
And he's a white dude. He's not Haitian, so he has nothing really to
gain from it.
It's a gain from it, right?
Ryan, well, shout out to him, man.
Yeah,
shout out to Ryan.
Yeah. Shout out to Rainn Wilson. And it's to say that, but at the same time, it's not that, okay, I you know, he didn't have to do that, right?
Right, of course.
But in order to have a peaceful world, in order to live in harmony, we need beings that are also have a peace of mind, and also be able to love themselves for this world to be a better place.
To be honest, I agree with you. To be honest, even during the Haitian Revolution, Haiti is most well known for helping other countries around the world. Especially
That's
in
true.
America, the Louisiana Purchase. I think there was a South American country that Haiti helped out.
It was multiple.
Yeah, it was multiple. And so that's a great place. Before we get to the next thing, because you're talking about your meeting these Hollywood stars, I mentioned earlier in the introduction that you had an experience of being interviewed by Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
We want to hear on like a lot. What was your experience doing that, and how was he? And just that whole thing, because it was kind of surreal, because even you just being on that show is like you're the inspiration for whoever watched that show on Netflix.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're the inspiration. I remember watching you answer certain questions on there. I was like, yo, this is crazy, yo. Imagine how many people that he's inspiring right now that are artists. You know what I'm saying?
So what happened is 3 a.m. in the morning, my ex-girlfriend broke up with me on the phone.
Oh my gosh.
And I was crying like a baby.
Can I talk shit about her?
No, you don't.
Okay.
No, I think it was she was very emotional, and but it had to happen like that because I'm in good terms with her. So I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk bad. Plus, to tell you the truth, she also helped me design the suit of Djatawo.
Wow.
Yeah. She also helped me.
That's nice.
But I will say that it was before she was my girlfriend, so I paid her to do it.
Right.
So we co-created the suit, but still, she was very loving person. And shout out to you, Cindy. I believe in you. You're amazing. But she broke up with me at 3 a.m.
I was laughing at that.
but I'm sure she will laugh when I say that. She knows that I don't have anything grudges.
Yeah, of course.
But what happened needed to happen, and I thank her for that. Because after breaking up with me on the phone, funny thing is, another girl was calling me to go to a party, and I was like, no, I'm not going. And I saw Conan O'Brien on Instagram dancing with a local band, and I was like, wow, that's so cool that he came to Haiti, because after what he was the President Trump said that Haiti and African countries are shithole countries, and then and Conan said, okay, I'm gonna go to Haiti to prove him wrong. So I opened my Instagram and I saw Conan dancing, and then this girl called me, and I was like, no, I'm gonna stay home. Because I told myself I'm gonna stay home to do what I love. Excuse me. And what I like to do is, whenever I see somebody is doing good things, I do a portrait of that person. So I did a portrait of Conan behind of a transportation bus. It's like they call it Tap Tap bus in Haiti. And I posted on my Instagram. I went to sleep. My phone died. The next day I woke up. I had 60 missed calls.
Wow.
Conan was looking for me.
Wow.
And then when I went on his Instagram page, he was holding a phone, and the phone had my illustration. He was like, I'm looking for this artist.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa, that's me. And I texted him on his Instagram, and nobody answered.
Right.
And then I saw a message from, her name is Nadège Telfort. She's an actress. She's an activist. Shout out to you, Nadège. And then she was like, Attends. That's how they used to call me. Attends, I know where to find Conan. And I was like, okay, I'm going to pick you up. She lived like 1 hour away from me. I was like, I don't care where you are. Even if you are in France, I'm going to drive or swim to pick you up. I went to pick up Nadège, and I met Conan. Very cool guy. We made the interview on the spot. There was no question that he had to prepare me with.
Right.
He would just ask me a question on the spot, and I remember studying when he was asking me. You guys can watch the interview on Netflix, Conan Without Borders, or on Netflix. And so that was an amazing feeling. And that day, I mean, when he gave me 24 hours to actually do the illustration on a real Tap Tap bus. So he can air it. So that interview was aired on national TV. And again, he promoted my comic book too.
Right.
Because he asked me, I told him that I made the first Haitian superhero.
Right.
because it wasn't about that too. But I took the shot.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Right, and then that day the website of Jatawo crashed. There's so much traffic.
Wow.
I wasn't ready for that. So that's to say, as an artist, I'm so focused on the art, on the craft, that there's so many other things, and it's understandable. Like all huge artists, they have a team. So I'm really looking for a team that really believe in what I'm doing and think that we can do together, you know?
Right.
So things like that doesn't happen. If I had that comic book to sell on that page, it would be a totally different story. But
Right.
it had to happen like that. So the experience was amazing.
That sounds amazing right
Yeah.
there, man. I mean, to be in Haiti, to be in your creative bubble, to have somebody like as Conan, like Conan hit you up like, listen, I need to know what's going on.
Yeah, man.
That's amazing right there, man. So before we head over to to let you go, Tony, we're gonna ask you some weird questions real quick that have to do with Haiti, and let's see where it goes, man.
Yeah.
One question is this: if you became president of Haiti, you with me?
Yeah.
If you if you became president of Haiti and had advanced technology, maybe from aliens, to protect yourself from coups and third-party mercenaries, what steps would you take for the prosperity of all of Haiti?
I will close the borders. I will close basically Haiti.
You're damn right.
I will close Haiti for Haitians to be self-sustainable, and I will promote tree planting. I will sustainability again, education, and get back to the land, get back to your ancestors, and I don't know, like through art, try to make things better.
Right.
That's what I can think of.
You mentioned earlier that because we just mentioned aliens right here. You mentioned earlier that there was a tribe that was specifically linked to that was basically
Dogon.
The Dogon tribe was in real life, right?
In real life.
They were known to have contact with the Sirius B star.
Yeah. And
probably contact with aliens in space. Do you believe in the life outside the
I do believe. I think it's will be crazy that we're the only one here on this universe.
I think infinite universe.
Yeah, in the infinite universe, in this infinite universe, exactly. And that's funny. Somebody asked AI. We are living in a very interesting time, and I love it. To me it's a great time to be alive. And somebody asked AI, how do you feel that humans created you? And then the AI replies, you didn't created me, you discovered me.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
That's insane.
You didn't create me, you discovered me.
Right. The ever loop of artificial intelligence or an intelligence outside of consciousness of biology. Even in our DNA, there's language in it that's written.
Yeah.
Which whatever that story is, I have no idea. Yeah. Have you ever had an experience like some people say they've seen, like even over here in New Jersey?
Yeah.
We had New Jersey drones and everybody thought it was UFOs, but people have seen other UFOs around here.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced seeing anything like that?
Well, the whole meaning of UFO is
unidentified
flying object, right?
Yeah.
So if you cannot identify it, it's a UFO. So yes. 3 times in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
We gotta hear this.
So the first time I was minding my business. I love taking pictures. I was just taking pictures. I was in Haiti. I was taking pictures and then I posted on Instagram. And that was in 2006, maybe.
What was it?
I was in where I grew up in a village, and I saw like power lines, and they had like bubbles, like big bubbles, and I was like, oh, that's cool because it looks like when you're musical notes, when you're reading notes, it looks like that. And then I took a picture and I was putting a quote like. Something about making your life like your symphony or something like that. And then somebody commented on my picture, you have a UFO in your picture.
And you didn't even know it.
I didn't even know it.
That's crazy.
And I was so focused on the actual thing.
Yeah,
that was in the picture,
and then
you
I was like, what the and then I looked back on my phone to see, and I saw that UFO on a different points. Because I thought, okay, maybe my lens is dirty. But it was a UFO. That was the first time. The second time, it was 3 a.m. I was getting out of, I was somewhere, and I got back home. And and then I was opening the gate of the house, and then I don't know. I love looking at the stars. That's something I love to do. I feel somehow connected. And I was looking up, excuse me, and I saw a red point. And then I was like, but it was weird because it was very much bright. And I knew it was red because it was so bright. And I saw it moving left to right. And then went up. Like, it went up.
They shot it into the sky.
Yeah. Whew. And I was like, damn. And I called a friend. It was 3 a.m. and he was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" His name is Tioncito. He's like one of he's very famous Haitian artist, musician. And I was like, "Aunts, like this is what I saw." And then he was like, "Tony, I always say that if we don't see you one day, you probably get abducted or something."
Oh man.
That was the second time.
Right.
The third time, I was outside. I was with a friend. She saw it with me. It was we were looking at it in the sky, and it was moving. But it maybe it was a meteorite.
Mm-hmm.
But it probably would have been moving faster. And the weird thing is the light wasn't in the back. The light was in the front, but it was going front.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand.
Right. What shape was it?
It was like it was like light.
It was just light.
It was just light.
Oh damn.
And then when these things happen, like the first time, like somebody commented on my picture. The second time I was by myself. So I'm mostly if I tell that story, some people might think I'm crazy or I was on drugs or whatever.
Yeah.
The third time, somebody was with me, so I'm not hallucinating because I was like, Muriel, her name is Muriel.
Mm-hmm.
Muriel, do you see what I'm seeing right now?
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, yes. And then we tried to follow it, and then we didn't see it again in the sky. The fourth time is the weirdest.
Mm-hmm.
The weirdest. And it's the first time I'm saying that on camera.
Right.
The first time I'm saying that on camera. I tell that to my friends because, they know that I'm not on drugs, that I'm perfectly sane person.
Right.
Kind of, because I have all this imagination. I was coming back. I'm not sure where. Again, I'm opening the gate. It's where I used to be. It's so secure. I parked the car. I opened the gate. So I have my dog Shazam. Rest in peace, Shazam. That was my buddy. That was my son.
Rest in peace,
Shazam.
Rest in peace.
And then I opened the gate. But usually Shazam comes and greets me, like always happy to see me. But he had a weird vibe, like something was off. And I was like, what's wrong with Shazam? Like, he's not happy, really happy. He's happy to see me. He's shaking tail, but there's something else.
Yeah.
I hopped in the car. I parked the car in the garage, and I went back to close the gate. And then I was walking towards the garage, towards the car. And then Shazam keeps on sniffing my hand.
Yeah.
And then I was like, what? Like, what's wrong? And then, so I walked to the garage, and then I have to turn right, and then to open the door that goes to the living room, there's a metal door first before the wooden door. I'm opening the metal door. Shazam goes in my hand, and then he went right, and then he went back on the patio because there's a wall that you cannot see behind that wall in the patio.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's
weird.
That's weird, because usually Shazam waits for me to open the door. He rushes to go inside first, not almost like a guardian, making sure that everything is fine before I enter the
Right, of course.
He's not doing that.
Right.
He comes back.
Yeah.
He's sniffing my hand. And then he went back.
What?
And I was like, no, this is weird. I'm following Shazam.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fearful person.
Right.
I'm very much. It's really when things happen. It's really after that I got kidnapped in Haiti. By the way,
What?
I escaped.
What?
Yeah.
We gotta hear this story too.
So I follow Shazam. I follow Shazam, and I turn left, and what I saw, I can draw it, but what I saw was not human.
Okay.
What I saw was not human.
Describe it, please.
I just saw two eyes, and I saw like a long shaped face.
That's
Tall.
scary as hell. That's scary as hell. So
Tall.
was it in the shadow?
It was in a shadow, and I felt that thing was surprised
To see you?
to see me. One split second, I thought I was crazy, because I was like, "There's no way that I'm seeing what I'm seeing.
Right.
There's no way." I was like, "Okay, I'm crazy." Like one split second, and then Shazam started to bark, and I was like, "Okay, I'm not crazy,
Right.
because my dog is barking."
He is barking at it.
But the funny thing is, my dog was not barking before. But something too, when I saw that thing, I froze. It felt like I couldn't move somehow. But I saw that thing do this. Almost like that thing was surprised.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
And then Shazam started to bark. And then I was like, I was froze.
Damn.
And then that thing went behind the wall. Shazam started to bark. All his hair was like his hair
Started to stand up?
Yeah, stand up.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I didn't say anything. I just went back inside. I just went inside of the house. I was in shock. I closed the door. I'm still hearing Shazam barking. So there's a between in the patio there's a wall that's connected. So there's the house and the wall, and there's a gate between the wall and the house. And for some reason my mom put a gate there. And I heard the sound of something climbing the gate.
What?
Wow.
And then, but also that gate, it's behind of my little cousin, hi Joyce, and room. And my room is next to Joyce's room. I went to my room. I took my gun.
Mm-hmm.
I look at my gun. I was like, what am I going to do with that gun? Because if something would have happened already, if it had happened, I put down my gun. I'm hearing Shazam barking. I'm still in shock. I went in the living room and I sat down. And then I didn't hear anything after. And then I still thought, okay, there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
And I heard a noise, and I called the name. I said Joyce, my little cousin. I didn't hear anything, and then I called Joyce again, and then she came in the living room. It was like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in the morning, and then she asked. She was like, "What's wrong?" And then I was like, "Did you hear something?" And then she was like, "Did you saw something?" And I told her, and then she was like, "Okay, I heard something climbing the gate."
Yeah.
And I heard a noise that thing flew away.
Flew away?
Yeah.
Oh,
and she didn't hear like it fell. And then for some reason I was explaining to her, my mom comes in now. And in Haiti, most likely if you see certain things like that, they say that it's a monster.
Or lugau.
Lugau.
Yeah.
Right? So my mom asked me, "Okay, what's wrong?" And then my cousin was like, "Joyce, what's happening?" No, she was like, "What's wrong?" And Joyce was like, "Nothing, nothing." And I don't like to lie to my mother.
Yeah.
I was like, "Mom, this is what I saw. This
Yeah.
is what I saw." And then she was like, "Tony, you're making me afraid right now." And I was like, "Mom, there's nothing to be afraid of because I'm not afraid. And if something would have happened, it would have happened already." And then the next day, she called a priest to come to the house
To bless it.
to bless it.
Sorti dehors! Merde! Tout allez mal! Allez, Satan! Viens là-bas mettre de l'eau sous! Sorti sous, monsieur!
That was one of the weirdest thing of my life.
That's insane.
Weirdest thing in my life.
Crazy.
Weirdest thing.
You know, interesting enough, there's a lot of stories in Haiti about mermaids. And the stories that I hear about mermaids is that the interactions that they have with humans are bad interactions. Like, they will trick you. they will, because they know humans love shiny materials like gold and stuff like that. And from what I've heard from, like, you know, other Haitians, that they're malicious. So they'll trick you to come into the water, and then they'll bring you down, and you'll never be found again.
Yeah.
You've heard stories like that?
Yeah. I even put it on the next story of Tanama.
Yeah.
I talk about the underworld.
Okay.
The water underworld. Yeah.
Because I've seen videos. I can't remember this TikToker's name. I think they eventually shut his page down. He would go out into the ocean, and I think he would fish, but because, you know, boats are fast. Like, the boats that he was on, I think they were probably like, I may be wrong, I don't know if they were like cargo boats, but they were going pretty fast. And in the video, you can literally see like a torpedo. Like, it was like 2-3 torpedoes. That's how fast they were going. They were just in the water. Like, bro, when I'm talking about fast, that shit was traveling fast, and you can hear in the background, jump for me.
That's
Jump! Jump. And you can hear this like sweet, almost angelic voice, and they're telling you to jump for me. That's,
you know, in Black Panther, they kind of do the same thing. Namor,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Kukulkan.
Yeah.
Like when they came and then they were singing and the people went to the water. So it's like, you know, I always say that there's always truth to a story.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
they don't come from anything. It's like when they talk about dragons, for example. Why there's like a dragon in all cultures?
Right.
Like why somebody like just designed these characters like that?
Nah, that's definitely not out of the imagination. To me,
The
personally,
dragons, I feel like a real too. Yeah.
yeah, like personally, I believe certain things you just can't imagine. You're tapping into like thought. The way that I imagine thought is, it's like kind of like a cloud that many people have access to. So within that cloud, there's just nothing but information. So when you go to sleep and you imagine certain things or you dream, personally, I think that you're tapping into a informational field or a consciousness that allows you to receive some of these things that you would not normally,
Not normally see in the real world.
Yeah.
Like even
man.
Yeah, science has even
Pretty
proven
bad.
it. Like there's science that basically says the same thing, that we as humans we don't, whatever we physically see is barely a tenth of what actually is in front of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the at least of what exists in front of us in the real world.
Yeah, man. And when you talk about quantum physics, when you talk about quantum universe,
Yeah.
you know, when you there's like things that exist in the subatomical reality.
Yeah.
It's not because you cannot see it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
Absolutely,
Exactly. Absolutely.
Like, you can't see yourself breathing, but you have proof that it exists. You can't see it, but you know that it's there.
That is
and it's
so true.
happening.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a lot of things that you can't see that are there. So,
Yeah.
like,
100%.
you know what's interesting? Now that you mentioned, do you guys remember that Marvel movie? What's this guy's name? In the Marvel
What
series,
happened?
it was like millions of him. Like, what's the name of this thing?
Kang the Conqueror.
King the Conqueror, huh?
Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you, that movie was amazing, yo. Just the way that they created the movie, and what's the actor's name?
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
Yo, he was a phenomenal actor.
He did an amazing job on that.
He did an amazing job. So when you think of, can you imagine not a universe,
Different parallel universe.
just different views,
Parallel universe.
universes.
And I feel like through meditation you can do that.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. How do you guys feel about if you guys believe that parallel universes exist? How do you feel about manifesting and tapping in to that reality, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys believe that?
Yeah, I
mean,
believe that.
Yeah.
I there's when I was in art school, it was very difficult for me because I'm colorblind and I was not able to put colors like I would want to, and I'm always into meditation. And oh man, that's another story that I could have talked to you about, like something weird that happened with a black cat in school. But that's another.
Yeah, Tony, it was really nice to have you here, man. Do you have any final thoughts? Anything else you want to mention before we head out for today, man? Let us know.
Well, what I would say, final thought is, stay grateful. Whenever you're having a bad day, whenever you feel like things are not going well, just count your blessings. Count that you have 10 fingers, you have 2 arms, you have 2 eyes, you have 2 legs. So you can still hope, you can still dream. Count your blessings and treat others with kindness. And you can also follow me on my Instagram, Tony Louis, ThonyLoui, on all on the social media platforms. And I'm not sure when this interview will be released, but you can also back the campaign of Tanama. It's on Kickstarter, Tanama The Awakening, so I can continue doing my work. All the support is highly appreciated. It means the world to me. And I'm very grateful to be here. I really respect what you guys are doing. I think you guys will go far. And I believe in what you guys are doing. Keep the same energy. Remember your roots. I very much value what you guys are doing. And thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, man. Tony, man, he created the first Haitian superhero.
Yeah, that's
you got any last thoughts, man?
La union fait la force, man. With unity comes strength, yo. So with that being said, I can't lie. I'm happy to be in the room with all of you guys. And on top of that, it's all nothing but Haitian men in here. That's something to be proud of.
Hey, boo boo.
How you sure would?
And to be honest, man, we're cooking something up here, yo.
Oh yeah,
we're cooking something up. I don't know how long this is gonna take, but like you mentioned earlier, I hope to see you at the top. Which, quite frankly, I believe that we will see each other in the top. And yeah, man, just keep doing what you do. Find that team that you know that can support you, and even if you can't, there's 9 billion people out here. Trust me, you'll find some people that'll support you.
And you know, definitely the Blunt and Reality is here to support you too,
Absolutely.
man. Thank you for coming out.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's the Blunt and Reality. We had Tony in the building.
Yes,
First
sir!
Haitian. Yo, come on, son.
Let's go!
Yo, I'm happy about it, man. We out here. It's 1804
That's a
vibes
fact.
out here, man. Yeah, man. We here to support you. It's the Blunt and Reality, and we out.
And we out, baby.
Don't you be a fool, you finna hear the truth. Watch me do what I do on the pod with the mic, and I ain't keeping it cool. Gotta bring the heat, gotta hit the street. Gotta stay 100, they ain't scaring me. You wanna censor a boss, you wanna censor a king. I'm not taking a loss, facts is all I bring. I'm speaking candidly, ancestors they stand with me. It's Pharaoh and Dessalines, the Blunt of Reality.